Hey, welcome to Exposition. I'm Mike Thompson, and this week we have Larry Bragg, who's an artist, and we'll talk about his paintings and his artistic career. So stay tuned.
Hey, welcome back to Exposition. It's been a while, and this is during the COVID pandemic, so we're not live with our shows for a little while, I would say, but I hope everybody out there is being safe and taking care of each other, and it's all about, everybody around you and taking care of each other and not just worrying about yourself. But anyway, we have Larry Bragg here, born in Gallipolis, Ohio, and
raised in Point Pleasant.
Welcome, Larry.
Well,
to
thank
the
you, Valerie.
show.
Thank you.
And we're so glad to finally have you.
Well, I appreciate it being here.
You're such an amazing artist. You
Thank you.
have
Had plenty of years at it.
yes. How many years?
61.
61.
Painting.
And how did it all start for you to be interested in art?
Well, I've always been even at a real small age. My first painting I did really was I was 8 years old when I did an oil painting.
Wow.
Which I won't say much about.
Oil at 8.
At 8, but I won't say much about the painting. But anyway, I have a brother that had it in his home. He would never part with it.
Oh.
So, but it came out, and from then on, I got drawing and painting. So, but
And
I
you
never did
loved
paint with
it.
numbers, anything like that. I did it all on my own.
Yes.
So I was self-taught,
That's awesome.
But, but that was not what you say really was art, but it was fun. To me, it was art.
Right.
At that
Did
time.
you have somebody in the family or friends or
Not really.
Any activities you were involved in growing up that brought this
Not
to
really.
you?
No, it's just I had an aunt that lives in Florida now. She could draw and paint, but she never got into it to do it all the time and stuff.
Okay.
But that was just about it, really.
So it was all just personal.
Yeah, personal.
You thought,
Just,
I love this. I want to continue doing this.
Oh
and
yes.
Now,
Did you have any particular subject you like to draw?
Back then, it was more still lifes. I like to set an object up and draw from it and everything like that, But not anything really particular at that young age.
Right.
So when I got older, I went into more still lifes, landscapes, florals, a lot of florals. I used to do a lot of florals, and I like the ocean. I love to draw and paint the ocean. I love ocean scenes. So.
do you ever go, do you paint where you are?
Oh yes.
Open air, right?
Plein air.
Yeah.
I've done it up in New England, and I've done it in California.
Wow.
So.
And were you talking about earlier about Sedona?
Oh,
that has brought
yeah.
so much new inspiration to you?
Sedona, if you ever get a chance to go there, you should. It's such a spiritual place.
Yeah.
And the art is everywhere. It's everywhere.
Oh, I love it.
There's countless galleries.
So
it's sort of like Santa Fe. You know what Santa Fe is by galleries.
I don't.
And I love Santa Fe too, but Sedona has something special about it. I can't tell you what it is.
I think it's like an energy center.
It's an energy center. It is.
Like Stonehenge and places
Yeah,
like
Sedona's
that.
that way.
is it?
It's surrounded by these huge red rocks, and it's
very
just
spiritual.
the galleries there. If you're an artist, or if you're into all the spiritual things,
Yes.
Sedona is the most peaceful place you'll ever go. And it's one of America's what they call dark cities. And what they mean by that, like if you're an artist or if you're a photographer, the night skies, you can see the Milky Way from there.
Because there's no city lights that are.
They have them down. They put them down.
They do?
Yes, and so anyway, it's a photographer's paradise.
Just so you can enjoy nature.
And they do that. The whole city does it. At the daytime, you can paint the waterfalls, the mountains.
They have everything.
Everything's so green. It's real green. They do.
I never even
You
thought
would-
of it that
oh,
way.
it's lush. It's lush.
I
and
would think like
gardens
desert
and green.
and
No,
rocks
no.
and
They have big, huge red,
canyons
and the rocks are red. I mean, they are really red.
yeah.
I mean, and you hit them in the sun, they turn this brilliant orangish red.
like they're on fire.
Like they're on fire. It's just a place everybody should take a vacation in Sedona.
I am looking forward to
You
doing
should do that, Valerie. It's really worth it.
Yes, wow.
And another place I like real well is like Big Sur. We used to go out to Big Sur. And I've painted out there, and oh, man.
I hate to be stupid, California?
California. yeah.
Okay, is that Northern California?
It's between San Francisco and LA. It's right between.
Okay.
On the coast.
Okay.
Carmel by the sea, Monterey, and Big Sur, they're all right there together.
And what is it about Big Sur that's
Oh, it's sort of
so
like
inspirational?
Sedona. It sort of just takes your breath. It's so scenic and beautiful. You know, if you're an artist, you really appreciate the big crashing waves and the big rocks and high on the cliffs, you know.
Yes.
It's a beautiful and
So they have a little of everything there
They
too.
all that's California. They have a
The
little
waterfalls and
the
the
redwoods.
ocean.
We just go to the redwoods and I painted out redwoods.
I have never been.
Oh my, go sometime.
I can't believe it.
They're a spiritual, very spiritual place.
Yes, because you're like, I can't believe.
You can't believe when you see a 300 or
nature
400
can
foot
look
tree
like
and,
that.
You know, you think there's somebody that had to make these. They weren't man-made. So there had to be a
Yes.
creator somewhere to make this kind of stuff.
Right.
Very spiritual.
That
Sort of
is-
like Mudsock, Ohio, huh?
Mike,
Mudsock.
you're showing our true colors here in Appalachia.
Hey, don't knock Appalachia.
I'm not. I live here. I just like to say it that way, Appalachia.
And I painted over in Lake Tahoe. That's a beautiful area.
Oh, now see, I've been there.
Well, you should just went on to Yosemite.
Oh my God.
We painted in Yosemite.
No.
I'm drawing in Yosemite. You get to pay. I drew in Yosemite.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
I've been fortunate to travel these places and do them.
That's
Now, I never got to
great.
go overseas. I never really had a desire to go overseas, but
Yeah.
I don't know why. I should have went to Europe. I'm sure I should have gone at one time, but
Ireland,
well,
Scotland,
yeah, I'd like to go to Ireland, yeah.
Wales, England, all that stuff.
there's so many pretty places in the United States to see that,
Yeah.
you spend your whole life here looking in the United States for things. So.
Right. Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Like we need to explore here too.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it.
Yeah, coast to coast.
Yeah.
You know, because there's everything.
But I've been
we
privileged to do
haven't
art there too, or meet people that are artists,
seen. Yes.
And that's what I say. I've come through the ranks of different artists I've worked with and been with to teach me things.
Right.
And you never quit learning. I don't care who you are. You always learn.
Of course.
You know,
not.
you don't ever tell an artist, well, I could do this better, because you learn from that artist. Even if you do a mistake, you learn.
Yes, and on Tuesday evenings.
Tuesday evenings at the gallery at 409 in Point Pleasant.
Which is where you are
The president of the council.
President of the
We have
Arts
what we
Council.
call our art group.
Yes.
And then anywhere from 6 to 10 artists, we get together on Tuesday evenings between 6 and about 8:30. And we all
Yes.
paint together, or we help each other, critique each other, and you do any kind of medium you want. There's some of just pastels, there's some who do watercolor, some do oils, some do acrylics,
Yes.
some just do drawing. So I mean, it's a good group together.
Right, and like we were saying, it's kind of osmosis where
It
you
is.
kind of absorb each other's
We do, and
art.
it's a mixture of artists from Point Pleasant and Gallipolis together.
Yeah.
So it's so good to see us communities working together as
That's-
artists like that.
And I'm guilty. I
Oh,
promise.
you've been there, though. You know.
I have to. I mean, you're my peeps.
Yep.
And,
And you're ours.
Thank you. I'm honored for you to say that.
Well, you most certainly are.
I can't wait to come and create. Right now, sometimes artists get into dry spells.
They do. They do.
And I'm in a slump.
Well, there's why I like to paint with a
right
group.
now.
'Cause I think when you paint with a group,
I think that
it
helps.
inspires you more. It makes you, it does inspire you.
It does.
Now, I can paint by myself, but I'd rather paint. I'm happier when I'm painting with a person.
Yes, because you're talking and
Yeah.
you're emoting on your
And over there, I'm
canvas
blessed to be
and-
with such good art. I've been with such good artists to paint with it.
Yes.
And they inspire everything.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Yes.
There is a good group in Point Pleasant. We have quite a few artists over there. Not saying Gallipolis does too. I'm sure they do.
Oh,
but I know
yeah,
over there we
well,
have. I would say
yeah.
there's probably 20, 25 artists in Point Pleasant.
I know.
In
it's
our
very
community-
artsy fartsy there.
It is. So it's getting to be more and more all the
I
time.
love it.
It's starting to pick up some more businesses are coming in, new businesses and stuff.
Yes.
So
And we just have to join forces.
we
and-
do to get the towns
and
together.
Just, oh yeah.
I
and
mean, they're
just-
two beautiful little towns, and
Yes.
together they can make one nice town.
That's right.
Even though we're in different states, that has nothing to do with it.
That's
It's
right.
the same people. We just need to get together.
And all the rivers.
The rivers
like,
and
that
stuff,
come.
yeah.
So the rivers are coming together. So we
need to come together and combine.
together. Yes, in a swirl.
I mean,
A big muddy mess.
Mike.
We're going to say it into mud soccer. It was.
I know. Mike.
Okay, why don't we look at some of your
Okay.
paintings? Okay. All right.
Yes, let's look at some of this beautiful.
That's orchids.
They're so
orchids.
happy. They're so
That's an
happy.
acrylic.
Jumping off the canvas.
What did you start in? Oils, I think.
Oils. I started in oils. Oils and acrylic. I was telling Valerie, I do all my darks, a lot of the darks when I do oils. A lot of the darks I do with acrylic, to put all the darks in.
I didn't see this one.
And then that is under the sea. You're looking up through the top of this water.
Oh, gosh.
And that is what they call the tricep. You know, there's 3 pictures in one. And
Wow.
that's a 3 foot by 6 foot.
Wow.
And it's in the floating canvas, it's
I
floating frame.
see. It's a triptych is what.
Yeah, triptych.
Like, triptych. Yes.
But,
I love that.
Very textured. It's oil and acrylic.
Ooh.
And you can feel the coral. You can feel it on there. It's really very, very textured.
Texture.
Does one go better on top of the other?
This what, sir?
Is one better
Like oil
over the top of the other?
Oils go over top of acrylics. Acrylics won't go over top of oils.
Okay. I know the water oil thing might be a
Yeah,
problem.
oils are the top. You can paint anything over acrylic, but you can't paint oils on top. You can't.
Okay.
Acrylics can't paint on top of oil. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So,
Because the water will
yeah.
disperse.
That's the Cliffs of Moher. I did that for a person from Ireland, and she came back from Ireland and showed me this picture, and I said, well, and she loved it. So
I have been there.
well, that's Marcia Finley. I don't know who Marcia not.
Oh gosh.
Ruth's daughter. She lived over there. We lived there in Gallipolis for years.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, Finley's had the Low Hotel.
Who is it?
Marcia, her daughter. That's her picture.
No, I didn't know. Yeah, it looks just like
now,
that.
this flower, I don't know what it is. So it's a fantasy flower. I reckon you'd call it. I don't know what kind of flower it is. I like it real well.
Did you have a reference or
No, it just
is that
came
a
out of my mind.
hibiscus?
No, it doesn't have that thug coming out of it.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
what you'd call that flower.
Oh, it might be like maybe a morning glory family.
We'll call it that.
Okay.
Do you ever hide anything in the
And
pictures?
some I have. Not the florals I don't, but some I have, yes.
Yeah. Or have meanings or
I did a woman's face in a rock one time.
Okay.
And you had to really look at it to find, but then you look at it, you studied, you can see the outline of her face in a rock.
That is,
Stuff like that.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love that hidden pictures kind of thing.
That's called Space Odyssey.
Ooh.
And that's belongs to Ruth's granddaughter, Elizabeth.
Oh,
but that's her. She
good.
picked that out from the gallery. She wanted a picture of mine.
now, do you brush that or you just take rags? or
That's
what?
done with a knife.
A knife. Okay.
It's got a lot of texture on it too. You can feel the texture.
I love those colors. That's amazing.
This I'm really blessed. This is from Jesse Thornton's collection. He's a fantastic photographer, very good friend of mine, and he lets me paint from a lot of his sceneries. This is called German Valley. It's in West Virginia, on top of
okay.
the mountains.
Huh.
Have you been there? The German Valley is beautiful up there. You'd love it. The motorcycles. It's a motorcycle city.
Yes,
up
and
there.
Mike,
bet.
The
Mr.
trails.
German, Mr. German
The trails
Mike.
up there. But that's German Valley. It's a beautiful area. Beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
Now that is a peace lily. There's a lot of controversy over this picture.
Oh, really?
This was taken from a book,
Okay.
another artist, and we made our own little things with it, though.
Well,
But a
that's-
class wanted to do this, and I did it.
Yes.
And I don't know, do you know Rosine McClure from Pomeroy? She's a wonderful artist up there.
No.
Her and I were going to do a class in this together, a joint class.
Yeah.
From the Pomeroy artists and our artists here in Point Pleasant.
Yes.
And anyway, it didn't happen, so somehow I went ahead and painted the picture for a class.
Yeah.
But Rosine has never forgiven me for that.
Why?
Because she wanted to do it with me. But anyway, it was just a joke. It was a joke. We're not really
Yeah.
mad at each
So
other.
was that the controversy or was it the subject matter?
It was a subject. But no, it was a controversy of our doing it together.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And I'll
There's
tell you, I got
nothing-
back at her.
Otherwise, it's commemorative.
It is. And she really
Or
acted like she's mad
a
at me.
tribute to,
Yeah.
or my take on.
Well, I'll tell you, I paid her back to Lux. She we had an art show in Pomeroy. I went and judged a show in Pomeroy,
Yes.
the Middleport Arts Council.
Sure, sure.
And Rosine had a beautiful picture up there. And I had given out the awards stuff, you know. Rosine said, no, I'm not in the show, Larry. I'm separate. Because she was on the committee to have the show. But she just put some pieces in to have it. Anyway, I went up and I took a paper plate, but worst of show, and stuck it on her.
Larry.
And everybody walked around to look at it. I'll get even with you for this. But we all laughed about it. But,
Oh my gosh, you wild person.
but anyway, if you ever get a chance to see Rogene's paintings, they're beautiful. Rogene's a wonderful
What does she
artist.
paint mostly?
She paints a lot of florals and animals, landscapes.
Does she
Yeah.
have her work like in
She
Middleport,
has a place
Pomeroy?
out behind Pomeroy. She has going towards Athens.
Yes.
She has a place that's called the Painter's Barn, the Painting Barn.
Ooh.
She has a beautiful landscape, swans and a lake out there beside it and everything.
Really?
It's a real nice place.
Oh my goodness! And
They own
people-
McClure restaurants. That's what they own. All the McClure
They
restaurants.
do. Okay, we just ate there last
She
night.
is a wonderful artist. Wonderful artist.
Oh, good.
So if you get a chance to meet Rogene,
I would love to.
I took classes with her, and she can teach you so much.
Well,
But she's very good. She's all in oils.
okay.
So
I love that.
now that's an impressionistic seascape.
Is that Big Sur? Like,
That's from Big Sur. Yeah, it's from Big
Okay.
Sur, but I put the collar in it. Different. No, it's not the colors in Big Sur, but well, some of the colors are. But
Gorgeous.
I like
love
that
it.
one.
It's got a lot of movement.
now that is from Sedona, and it's just an imaginary piece. It's I call it Sedona to the Sedona Trail.
Your
made-
mixed media.
I made it look. It's a mixed media, very much so. It's oils, acrylic.
Oh,
It's got rocks on it, the river rocks, and it looks like supposed to look like impression like a leather.
I love it.
Like the leather
It does
stuff.
look, yes.
It's a 12 by 24. So, and the vortex right there. See it right over here, at the round, but it's not round. Sort of like a egg shape.
Yes.
But I tried to put things like you'd think you'd see in Sedona, and the red rock in there and everything. So that's my Sedona. It's called Sedona. That's what I call it. So
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
that's a magnolia.
Oh, of course. Don't they smell so
This
good?
is the red rose. I love this rose.
That's mine.
Danny.
That's Danny off camera.
That's Danny.
Sorry.
Yep. This is Danny's
no,
picture.
sorry. That's
so anyway.
Danny's.
So it's a red rose, and I like that rose. It's
Do you have a title for that?
I
other than
I
Danny's?
just call it. I'm gonna put it Danny's rose.
Good. That's what it belongs. I love this
And then
one.
that's now I don't know. I don't know if that would be. What is the blue fire? My mind's not as good as it used to be.
The blue fire.
It grows up beside Agnes Simone gave me the hint about painting this. It's called. I've got to think. I can't think of it.
yeah. What do you mean? The plant part or?
Yeah, the
what?
flowering part, the blue flower.
I don't know.
Oh, I know the name of it. I
There's
can't
blue,
think.
like blue days. There's.
No, it's not that. It grows on
no.
the side of a house. They grow up tall.
No.
It's a blue. I know it's, and that's a still life. That's a still life. I didn't, and that's acrylic.
Rhododendron, didn't you say? Okay, sorry.
Like my parents.
Look at those grapes. You just want to eat them.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of gray and white. I've been in a gray and white mood. I've been doing a lot of gray and whites.
Why is
blacks.
that?
I met an artist that did them, and I really was inspired by her art.
Okay.
Her last name, she's in Honey. I think her last name's Ball. But she does huge black. It's all in black and
Black and
whites,
white.
and they're beautiful. So I've been wanting to do some. So I've done quite a few.
Those are awesome. You're
And
making me hungry.
And that's a still life.
We just ate.
I had the
Look at
pleasure
those
of,
grapes.
of going to a studio in Rockport, Massachusetts. And Rockport's one of the most beautiful artistic towns. If you ever went to go to, it's all artists, the whole town. It's not a very big town.
Rockport.
It's north of
where-
Boston.
Boston.
And the artist she was a TV artist, but she wasn't like
Bob
Boil
Ross
Wet,
or
nothing like
whatever.
that. Wasn't nothing. She was. Her name was Helen Van Wyck. I don't know if you ever got to see her on TV or not. You can go on YouTube and see her thing. She's dead now, but her art was so. She showed you all the methods how to do the picture, but she never got one done on ever on TV. but she gave you. I mean, you really learned from her. It was a learning show.
Yes.
It wasn't. It was really. And oh man, well, she'd been to. I loved to went to work with her. So we got to stop at her studio there, and her husband was there, and he said she died of brain cancer, and she said she has cancer, and she's not meeting anybody in the public right now. So we understood that.
Yeah.
But he let me look around the gallery, and it was beautiful.
I bet it
But
was.
if you get on YouTube, you can look up "Welcome to My Studio" or Helen Van Wyck. There's a whole bunch of videos on it.
Okay.
So it's really, and you'll see her, and she's a plein air artist, so she does them.
Okay. Wow.
So
That's
she's good.
awesome. Wow.
Now that is on a piece of wood, and it's called the Tree of Gold, and I started out, I painted the whole canvas gold,
Oh.
And you paint the whole canvas. Well, first you take Elmer's glue. That's all. It's Elmer's glue.
Okay.
And you just keep laying it till you get a real thickness on it.
Okay.
And let it dry. And I did the tree in Elmer's glue.
That's
Then you paint the
so
whole thing after it
cool.
dries gold. Then you take black. You paint. Take a real wet black. You just smear black all over
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then wipe it off.
Uh-huh.
Then you take jade green into a sponge and daub it all over.
That sounds like a
It's
great
almost like
class.
a antiquing process.
It is. It's an antiquing. And then you
Yes.
glaze it and make a beautiful glass. But you'd have to do it over like a week's period. Put all your glue on first, and next week come back and do the rest of them.
Yeah, maybe a course.
That would be a good class we could do.
like
yeah.
a course we could. Yes,
So
that'd be awesome.
now that's a pastel and chalk, and that's the redwoods. What they're told how they inspire me.
Yes.
Sequoia. I love that place too.
Gorgeous.
We've been there 2 or 3 times drawing Sequoia. So.
Oh, it's so surreal.
And that's an inspirational iris. Very inspirational.
Beautiful, beautiful. Just such movement.
And
This is the
now
last
this is a
one.
commission piece I did for a family over in Point Pleasant. That's it's 5 foot by 6 foot by 5 foot.
Huge.
It's huge. It's huge.
Wow.
And
that's awesome. Is that somewhere in West Virginia?
no. 'Cause
No?
it's out in the west because there's a big white mountain back there.
West?
But
Oh, okay.
so, but it's there's some West Virginia scenes almost like that without the mountain.
Right. I was just
lot of mountains like
yeah. I know.
but,
That's for sure.
I was commissioned to do this one, so I got it done. So
Makes you want
So,
to.
do you name your paintings at all?
some I do. Yeah, oh, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I wasn't sure what the process of that, and maybe how you pick out a frame.
Well, the frame we pick, we try to coincide with the painting. You don't want to take anything away from your painting.
Right.
And there's some paintings you have to enhance with the frame to make them pop out.
Right.
Florals are good with use gold with your florals. That makes them pop out.
Yes.
Or black and gold, like this
elegant.
right there, the black and gold together. See, that brings that flower out.
So that's Danny's rose.
That's Danny's rose.
It's very.
It's hanging over in the gallery. They're still hanging in the gallery there. There's that is Rogine's Peace Rose.
Yes. These.
She'd get a kick if she gets to see this. How that Rogine will.
will. You have to make sure she knows.
I'll have to tell her no.
yes.
So,
And how to get on there.
but I've been real inspired. I've had some wonderful art. I've been gifted to work with some wonderful people. My first contact with somebody was Jan Stapleton
Okay.
from over here in Gallipolis. She lived down below there around the dam, down that little town down in there. I can't think of the name of the town.
Eureka?
But she's not in Eureka. She's right off
Crown
there.
City
Well, I think Crown City would be part of that maybe.
or Miller or.
It could be. It was wherever they have Stapleton garages down there, and her husband Stapleton Brothers garage. I don't know that.
Athalia? I don't know.
Bladen?
Bladen, that's it. Bladen. Okay.
Bladen's Landing.
And but she always worked, and she worked for me. I had a shop in Point Pleasant for 21 years called Main Street Artistry, and Jan was the instructor. Because I got to learn so much from her. She took us side by side, taught each one of us. We had to build what we called a painter's Bible, and she shows how to mix a collar, and you had to put that little smear of that collar on there.
Yeah.
And you could take your 3 neutral colors, your 3 primary colors, and white, and make every color there is.
Right.
You don't want to buy the tubes; you can do it mixing.
You bet.
And she'd make what they call a mother gray. And we had to put gray on the picture first. We can do that in acrylic. But you make your mother gray. It's a blue, it's a cerulean blue, burnt sienna, and white. Okay. Then it makes the most beautiful gray. If you want a warm gray, you put more straight sienna in it. If you want a cool gray, you put more of the blue in it.
Sure.
So that's how you make it. And you always put that underneath the painting, and it give a real soft look to your paintings and a little glow.
Yes.
And she taught us all that and how to always pound a collar, mix it in your head. So I'll never forget this. And, she's a wonderful artist. She does everything, portraits
so
and all.
Learned that from
Learned that from her.
Then now you can
Oh, I can teach it to people
teach
else.
it.
And then I went from her, I went to a painter. The next one I worked with was, of course, Jerry in drawing,
Jerry.
and he's phenomenal.
We've had him on the show.
Jerry's phenomenal.
Yes.
And then after Jerry, I worked with a lady her name was Sue Langert. Do you ever had Sue Langert on there? She's from Gallipolis originally.
Oh, no.
Then she moved to San Francisco 30 years ago and opened a gallery out in San Francisco.
Oh, good for
in Half Moon Bay, and she's painted for celebrities and everybody.
Oh, that's wonderful.
They lived out on Georges Creek.
Wow.
And Langert, the last name was Langert.
Okay.
And she'd come back every year, 2 or 3 times a year to visit her mother. Well, she'd come over to the gallery at 409. That's how we all got to know her. We started painting together and everything like that. And she's done workshops over there, so we had to do workshops.
That's
Then she left San Francisco. Now she lives in Washington, D.C. Outside in Maryland. She lives in Maryland.
Wow.
So she gets to come back she's a terrific artist, very terrific artist.
Yes.
Then after her came, I got the real big privilege. If you ever look this lady up, her name's Laura Robb.
Okay.
And she's what you call one of the master artists of the country. I mean, she's in that category with some of what they call the master artists.
Okay.
And we got to paint with her for a week. And I mean, the most educational week I think I've ever been around art.
How wonderful.
Oh my, she was wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
And I was in Taos, New Mexico. We got to go there and
I'm
take the classes.
jealous. Yes.
But it's really wonderful.
That is
And she took the whole class down to, we all went down to Santa Fe to see all the art there. Georgia Key State, all those galleries there.
Yes.
And it was a very experienced trip.
Oh, I
So
love
after
it.
that, I mean, then just all myself. So that's how I got my start and how I got my inspiration from a lot of paintings.
That's a rich.
It's a very
start.
lucky. I think it's a very lucky way to be started. I've been privileged to have that.
Yes. You
Very blessed,
are.
very much blessed.
That's wonderful. Well, we're so
And
so
get a
honored
chance to come
have
see the
you.
gallery at the 409. That's where we had to do most of our hanging.
Yes.
And, let Ruth know, or let me know, one of us, or you know, you can get a hold of me. You're welcome to come see the
Sure.
paintings.
What kind of hours
Yes.
do they keep at
When
Gallery
they're
409?
open, now due to the virus, we're not open right now.
Right.
But we do. We'll give a private show with somebody when they come in, wear their masks and stuff. But usually on Fridays from 10 o'clock to 3:30, Saturdays same thing, and Sundays from noon to about 4.
Okay.
1 to 4 on Sundays.
So good weekend.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's Sunday. When we get back to normal, get back to our normal proceed. That's
Right.
what it'll be. So,
Right.
but we do more shows through the year. Right now we've been on, just on like everybody is.
Right.
But
Yes, we are too.
and sometimes Ruth gets tours of the hotel, which is a beautiful thing to see anyway.
Oh, I'd love to do that sometime.
And we have a family at the hotel that really is one of the Pitcairn family. I don't know if you know about the Pitcairns, but they're one of the nation's wealthier families.
Oh.
And we have huge paintings around the wall that are on private loan for their own private galleries.
Oh my.
And I mean, I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars these paintings are.
Wow.
Now they're something else. They hired their own artists to do the art. Brought them over from Europe back years ago.
Yeah.
And the one that the two that came, the red violin that was over here and over in Point Pleasant both, she was a Pitcairn, Elizabeth Pitcairn. And her uncle is called Theo, and he worked with Jacques Cousteau. He had his own production company,
Oh.
Pitcairn Productions, and he's done underwater scenes with Jacques Cousteau, a bunch of people like that. So
that's
they're really good
amazing.
backs to the gallery. They're really good, to work with them. So.
Wow.
So you get a chance to see something like that too, because there are like 7 or 8 of them hanging around the wall. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think, the big ones that
Yeah.
are like way up above.
but the one way up above there,
Yes, that are very
they're
ornate and
oh
humongous.
my, they're huge. They're huge.
Yes.
They're totally wall size.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're
Yeah.
just about out of time.
Do,
Well, I want to appreciate.
do we have one more moment? Just a real quick
Okay,
question.
sure.
For those of us who get in this artistic slump and would like to get back on track, what would you recommend?
Well, it's a mindset thing. You're just gonna set your mind. You're going to do it, and do it. I don't care if you mess it up. Do it.
So just put
Just
the
put the world behind you and
brush-
sit there and do it.
Put the brush on the canvas.
Turn your phone
and,
off.
and
Turn
go
the phones off.
Turn on some awesome
Music and drink your little glass of wine and start with it.
Well, for those of us who don't drink, we
Well,
could
no, so
just,
drink a little Coca-Cola or ice water,
Yes.
iced tea, whatever.
You betcha.
So I mean,
Like infused with something really yummy.
yeah.
One you did on me? Can you put the one you did on me as me?
I don't think we have it on
No,
our.
it has to be on that thing there.
This is Danny off camera.
Okay. Well, we thank you for.
Well, I want to thank you
being
all
on the
too.
show.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
We
This
love
is the
you.
There you go.
COVID. That's the COVID hug.
Yeah, thank you so
We
much.
love you.
That's Danny in the background clapping.
Yay!
Thank you, Mike. I
you.
appreciate this.
Yes, we appreciate
too, Valerie.
Thank you, Larry.
And I'll be working with Valerie some in her shop soon. So
Woo!
when we
I
get
can't
started,
wait.
so I'll be looking forward to some classes there.
Soon.
Okay.